The dance of the eighth house, truth beyond fear and transformation. The hidden meaning of the eighth house. Everything happening in the world has reason, and we are ignorant of reasons and feel disappointed, confused, and alarmed. It is nothing but the cause and effects, while we see and experience effects in isolation of causes. This is the dance of destiny. This article unpacks the hidden truths of the eighth house, often feared as the house of death, revealing how it actually represents karmic transformation, research, hidden wealth, and spiritual evolution. The aim is to demolish the baseless fears associated with this house and help seekers understand its deeper positive dimensions through the lens of applied astrology. Astrology has been misinterpreted, and among all houses, the eighth house has perhaps suffered the most, labeled as a symbol of fear, death, and destruction. It has scared generations of believers, yet this is far from the truth. When examined through practical and spiritual application, the eighth house becomes the vault of karmic transformation, representing research, rebirth, and spiritual awakening. Just as the 12th house isn't always loss, the eighth isn't always fear. It is the storehouse of accumulated karma, your invisible bank account of actions, thoughts, and energies. Depending on how you have invested across lifetimes, this vault can hold gold, silver, or even rusted iron. What you withdraw depends entirely on how you deposit, what have you deposited. At Prashna Siddhi, every interpretation is based on lived charts and logic, not on generic rule books. Prashna Siddhi astrology is applied astrology. Why the eighth house is misunderstood? Jumping the gun and saying eighth house, the house of death, is joking on a serious subject and creating fear instead of confidence. If we come out of the black box of ignorance with ears and eyes open by applying mind, we can get more perspectives of any subject, including astrology. Stop hero worship to gain more knowledge. Eighth house in astrology, another dreaded house as projected by many astrologers, is a house of mystery. Call it a house of suddenness. Why sudden? This is our perception, while all events were already stored there as per our karmic timetable, right at the first breath, but waiting for the right moment. It accurately triggers at the moment already fixed, while we feel it is sudden. Whether these sudden events are good or bad, this is where astrology, specifically Vedic Prashna Kundali, can guide you by determining whether the storehouse of sanchit karmas, accumulated karmas, contains gold or rusted iron. Diving deep into the eighth house. Number one, which sign of the zodiac from Aries to Pisces is the eighth house? Where is the lord of the eighth house? Are there any planets in the eighth house? If so, in which nakshatra it is posited? And where is the lord of the nakshatra? Which other planets are aspecting the eighth house? Of course, this is amongst several other considerations, starting from lagna and in which nakshatra it is rising. Without having a 360-degree holistic view of the entire chart, it is absurd to apply a rule book and arrive at erroneous and misleading comments. Spiritual logic and the zodiac. Sit in my cockpit and I will quickly fly you over some terrain such as such that you can have a glimpse of the zodiac, the chart of the universe. What begins has to end somewhere, sometime. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. As we all know, the lord of Aries is Mars, beginning in the nakshatra of Ashwini, the star of reverse-moving shadow Ketu. Is this an arbitrary selection of the Creator? By mistake or by design? Let us understand deeply the meaning of the starting of the zodiac. The very asterism has tons of meaning. Who can first understand the spiritual essence of the subject of the zodiac, the why and how of it, rather than astrology? Reverse-moving shadow Ketu with Ashwini Nakshatra has more to reveal than hide anything. This is the key to astrology, and thus the doctrine of karma, as you sow, so shall you reap. This is the universal cosmic law for every species in the world. No doubt, after being born, one may rule a nation or could be an ordinary person, but all of us are governed by the cosmic law. No one can ever escape, no concessions, no deviation, and it is in action strictly and absolutely. Misconceptions and ironies. When we talk about the 8th house, of course, painting it in bad or terrible light, is it not imperative that we look at the 7th house from the 8th, that is, the 2nd house from the Lagna? When the subject of the discussion is noted as 8th house, the thought goes toward death and not the 2nd house. Ironically, when it is a question of someone who has to pay us money, we immediately look at the 8th house. The 2nd house of money for the person who owes money. Is this not paradoxical? This is just the result of hero worship and book rules derailing the very essence of astrology. Aspects and spiritual reading. What about planets aspecting 8th house? Here again, there is an ocean of confusion because the aspects of planets have to be clearly understood from spiritual perspectives and not carried away by hearsay. Applied astrology versus rulebook astrology. Where has the application of mind gone? Astrology has to be applied to real practical life with intense application of mind, and call this as applied astrology instead of book frame astrology. Look at these practical situations. When someone gets good amount of money in a lottery, is not the 8th house so strong? Some charts show a stellium of planets in the 8th house. Stellium means number of planets in one house. Look at some 8th house of celebrity charts. A person became the chief minister of a state in his late 70s. Transit and retrogression. Astrological analysis is a matter of diving deep into the subject, a 360-degree bird's eye view of the entire chart, even to guide anyone on a simple single point. Why? All planets are continuously transiting in their own predefined speed and path. Remember the shadows, Rahu and Ketu, moving reverse while all other planets move forward. All planets turn retrograde depending upon the position of Sun when they are 5 houses ahead or behind Sun. Physically, no planet moves backwards while it is an apparent view from Earth. Is this not mysterious? Mysteries of planets' retrogression. God is love and kind. Then why are we suffering? God is not the cause for this. It is our own actions, past and present, and it creates the future. Because God is kind, He gives a fair opportunity and chance for everyone to introspect and correct the mistakes, if any, or even refine, review actions in the best interest of the entire humanity. This period of retrogression is an opportune phase to refine, revisit our goal, putting moral and ethical values in place. Modern parallels, cloud computing, and cosmic data. Cloud computing. What cloud computing has to do with astrology? Stay cool. I will clarify it just now. Be 100% sure that every thought, every word, every split second of all our movements is fully captured by the shadows, Rahu and Ketu, our security escort, invisible vehicles, fitted with cameras day and night. They are protecting us by capturing every minute detail of our life. They keep referring to our karmic ledger. It doesn't matter who we are, and it is never what we are either. It could be the case of heads of nations or a very ordinary person, while the cosmic law is the same for everyone. The power and authority, riches, etc. in this world are trash in the eyes of cosmic philosophy. Therefore, all our thoughts, actions, and moves, thus captured by the shadows, will get processed eventually to update our invisible and metaphysical karmic ledger, which is unbelievably accurate, maybe to 100th decimal place or even more. I hope I have articulated my views both on Rahu and Ketu, the phenomenon of retrogression of planets, why Rahu and Ketu are shadows tracking physical planets with dual sign ownership, demonstrating the duality in this world. All about the 8th house. 1. The storehouse of karmas, mainly sinchit karma or accumulated karmas, which can include inheritance, not necessarily only property. Number 2, it can be anything including knowledge carried forward from previous birth, morality, ethics, divinity, etc. The house of transformation or even transmigration. The house of occult knowledge also. Conclusion. Apply your mind. Don't take a lopsided view of any house because it is said by so-and-so or mentioned in so-and-so celebrity book. Astrologer's own application of mind is very essential, and it is the crux of the issue. Apply your own mind to astrology and use applied astrology authored by you. Each and every chart is unique since the karmas are unique, different strokes for different people, and there is no one-size-fits-all as far as karmas are concerned. We are sure to get 100% justice only from God, and justice in absolute sense. Since we compare with others, we grumble about our destiny and make our own life even more miserable at every step. Does this mean accepting the destiny? Certainly yes, but in a humble manner by learning a lesson each time, praying God and subduing our ego. I am KJagadish, the founder of Prashna Siddhi. I have over 5 decades of practical experience in applying astrology to hundreds of real-life cases across the world. My mission is to revive astrology as a science of awareness, not superstition, integrating logic, ethics, and spiritual truth. Every article under Prashna Siddhi is personally authored by me, drawn from lived consultations and original insights, a rare blend of practical experience and compassionate guidance. Here is a note. You are welcome to download this article free along with another inspiring book titled Honest Living, published by one spiritual organization, which you can see it in the description. Follow the link and download that book free of cost. Both carry the same spirit of truth, morality, and spiritual clarity, guiding every reader to reflect, simplify, and lead a truly meaningful life. Namaste.